Hey camping cooks, on the show today we are going to do a BTU test between 3 different camp stoves. Now I love having a camp stove around not only for camping but also for, picnicking and also cooking on the deck. They're a great tool to have in your arsenal. But there's a big difference between camp stoves at low ends of the BTU spectrum and higher ends of the BTU spectrum. Today, we are going to test 3. We're going to test a Coleman Triton, which is 22,000 BTUs. We have this Coleman that is 28,000 BTUs, and we have a Camp Chef that's 50,000 BTUs. We are going to be putting a pot of water on here to see which one boils faster. So join me as we do a BTU test on 3 camping stoves. So we have the 3 stoves set up here on the deck. What we're going to do is we are testing these sort of for speed. All of these stoves have different BTU levels. So BTUs are British thermal units, and they're a measure of energy. And one of the things I found in the past is when your stove has a low BTU rating, sometimes it's really hard to drive a basic pan, even a stock pot. So we have 3 stock pots full of water. These are tri-ply stock pots, and we're going to run our little test on these to see which one can bring these pots to a boil the fastest. So let's go take a little look at each of our contenders. Okay, our first baby here is the Camp Chef 2-burner stove. And I've had this stove for a long time. This is one of my original chili cook-off stoves. We used to go all over to chili cook-offs, and this is one of the stoves that I use. I have 2 of these. So this Camp Chef is 60,000 BTUs total, which means it's 30,000 BTUs per burner. This is the highest power portable stove that I have, and I've used it a lot, and you get a lot of power out of this stove. That's all I got to say. So what we have on the Camp Chef is a Tuxton Home. This is actually my sous vide pot. This is an awesome pot up above using it for sous vide because it is a beautiful tri-ply stock pot. And I absolutely love it. It is fantastic. So we have the Tuxton Home tri-ply on the Camp Chef. So what tri-ply means is they're fully clad. So they have 3 layers, stainless steel on the inside and the outside, and aluminum in the middle. There's no disc on the bottom. They are fully 3 layers for the entire pan. So our next contender is the Coleman Triton. We picked this up at the Coleman outlet recently. If you want to take a look at that unboxing, I will leave a link down in the description. We picked up this one and the next one. So the Triton is one of not their basic model, but I would say it's on the lower price, popularly priced price point. It is 22,000 BTU, which makes it 11,000 per burner. So compared to the Camp Chef, we're talking maybe a third in terms of the BTUs coming out of this stove as a Camp Chef. So it'll be interesting to see how this one performs next to the others. So our third and final stove is the Coleman Even Temp. And what's interesting about this stove is it has an electronic ignition, so it's really easy to start it. It has 2 burners, but it has a burner in the middle that connects the 2 that you can turn on and off independently. So you can do 2 large pots, 3 smaller pots, or a griddle on here. So this thing is 28,000 BTUs. I'm not sure how that center burner affects the BTU ratings of each burner. I mean, I'm assuming that they're 14,000, but I can't tell because some of that rating probably is going to that center burner. So we will see how it performs against its smaller sibling, the Triton. So let's get testing. Okay, so we have 3 Maverick probes in each of these pots. We have water straight out of the tap, so they're within about a degree of each other. There's no way I'm going to get these exactly to the degree, but they're close enough. So we have the Texton Home on the first Maverick, we have the Triton on the second, and we have the Ever Temp on the third. So let's fire these babies up. Okay, so let's fire up the camshaft. And the Triton.
Yes, he's max. He just keeps spinning. And then this one's easy. You want to show the button here?
And the Ever Temp. Yeah. So we're going to turn these all on maximum.
They're on X.
And let's watch the temps rise.
Yeah, he's already the winner. He's already up above him. He's up to 98 already. 99.
And we're off. They're coming down the backstretch. Right now we have the camshaft at 102 degrees. And the even temps coming in at the close second at 99. The Triton seems to be struggling here. It's just hitting 98. The camshaft's at 108. And the Triton's down at 101. So Triton's making some moves here. So we're coming around the first corner, right? And the camshaft is clearly killing both of these. What's surprising to me is the Triton is under the even temp, but I don't really know the even temp how much those burners really have because of that center thing, like I'm saying. How much of the BTOs is attributed?
Did you say BTOs? That's Bachman Turner Overdrive. It's a 70s band, boo. You mean BTUs.
I don't know how much the BTUs on the even temp is attributed to that center burner, so we will see. So we're about 4 minutes in, and there's currently a 30-degree difference between the camshaft and the Triton. The camshaft with its 60,000 total BTUs is heating this water faster. I mean, it's at 155 versus 124. And you say, oh, you know, the time difference in terms of your overall cook doesn't make that much difference. It's just when you have a big, heavy pot of food on there, like you're trying to make some sauce, you have a lot more control when you have more energy than you do with these lower level stoves. So just keep that in mind in this type of test.
Something to keep in mind is with these lower BTU appliances, and this can even occur with a camper or even a home stove that might not have a whole lot of power, is these heavier pots, which are great for when you want to simmer a stew or a chili or something. These things might not be driven all that well, and you might need lighter weight aluminum. And that might be one of the things that's given the Triton such a problem, is this is not really ideal for them. It's a heavy duty, fully clad pot. It looks like the even temp isn't having that hard of a trouble. It'd be interesting if we would have done a side-by-side with a lighter pot to see. But
we could just do on the Triton and do a test of a tri-ply on one burner and a really thin pot on another burner.
Your camping gear.
Yeah. Maybe when we're out camping we might try that. So the Camp Chef is approaching 190 degrees, where we are down at 140 on the Triton, 156 at the Maverick. One of the things this test is really showing is just the different levels between the, the 22, the 28, and the 60. It clearly they're performing, on the range that you would expect based on the power levels.
I mean, we're 7 minutes in, and there's about a 15-degree difference between these two. It's not that big a deal.
No. Each pot has 4 quarts of water, of plain tap water. Okay, so the Camp Chef is coming around the third bend. And
he's down the home stretch.
He's at the home stretch.
He's gonna legally be boiling in 2 degrees.
How much time are we at?
We're at about about 8 minutes. 2:12. We're boiling.
Boom, 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 boom. Camp Chef's
boiling.
in.
We got a rapid boil. The winner. Ding, ding, ding.
Yay!
It's shown 2:13, but I don't think we can go.
Let's see the rapid boil, Bill. Camp Chef said rapid boil.
Looks like a rapid boil.
Ding, ding. I think we have a winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, so now we're going to go for second place. Is it worth it to spend extra money and get the even temp? Now, there's a lot of features of the even temp that make it nice. You got the full-on inner burner for your griddles. You have that electronic start. There's a lot of great features of this, but it's also a very large stove. It is significantly bigger than the Triton. So that's another thing to weigh if you're thinking about adding a camp stove to your cooking arsenal. So we're gonna see between the Triton and the even temp if speed-wise and ability-wise, can we get there? What temp are we at for the Triton, Boo?
He's at 169. Big guy's at 190.
It'll be interesting to see.
Oops. If we were boiling beef, this would be the temperature.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we only have 4 quarts of water. If you had a huge pot on here with double that amount of water, can this Triton even bring it to a full boil? Would it take it 15 or more minutes to bring a full 8 quarts of water to a boil?
So in other words, if you're making spaghetti for a crowd, or you're going to be heating up a lot of spaghetti sauce,
yeah,
can it handle it?
Can it even bring that much water to a boil, and how long does it take? I mean, you don't really want to sit here and have your stove take 20 minutes. This is a problem with our RV. I don't know how many BTUs that thing has, but it's probably really low because it probably can't even bring a large pot to a full boil.
But the bottom line is, if you just want to get a fry pan up to temp so you can fry some eggs.
Yeah, it's great for that if you want to use a small saucepan. But you ain't going to be boiling a huge pot of spaghetti up inside the RV. You just ain't, it probably can't get there.
Well, we're coming down the home stretch. Of course, this guy's home stretch is going to take a little longer.
How long has it been?
About what, 13 minutes maybe? So he'll be there in 2 more degrees. He doesn't look boiling yet.
So what we're looking at pretty much is the Camp Chef can bring a big pot of water full of water to a boil twice as fast as the even temp. So I would say the even temp is slightly faster than Triton. The whole way along It was a good 5, 8, 10 degrees higher than the Triton, but it wasn't significantly noticeable. And then here's the Triton. It just came to a...
The even temp was leading.
Yeah, but now that you've taken off the Triton's lid, is it losing temp? Is it be able to maintain...
Well,
is it able to maintain...
okay, well, Amy's got a good question there.
Without a lid on, can these stoves maintain...
He is maintaining a good boil.
So this is the Triton. We took the lid off and it's still maintaining a good boil. So this is the even temp. We've taken the lid off this one as well, and it's maintaining a boil just as good as the other one. So with the lid off, the Triton dropped 2 degrees and it's maintaining the 208, but the even temp is keeping the same temperature. So there's that. So Camping Cooks, we have our winner. It's the Camp Chef. 60,000 BTUs. Camp Chef drove that pan like crazy. In 8 minutes, it was at a full boil. The other 2 Colemans took double that time. Now, you're thinking, oh, what's the big deal, right? You're camping. It just goes to show you that when you have nice, large amounts in a big pan, you really need a big stove that can drive that. So it's great to have a mix of both. If you're a camper, if you're a picnicker, if you plan to go, even with deck cooking, if you have a nice Camp Chef and you pick up a smaller stove like the Triton, I think you have a great mix. The Triton really impressed me. It kept up decently well with the even temp, and I think the only difference between the two is the even temp is slightly faster. You could probably put slightly bigger pots, or at least it will cook a little better, but it's just what kind of features do you want. It has the electronic start, it has the burner that goes all the way across, it just has all those fancy features. But the Triton is a decent stove as well. So, the winner of the Amy Learns to Cook BTU Camp Stove Test is the Camp Chef. Yay! Thanks for joining us. We're going to be using these stoves on our upcoming camping trip. We're going to have a good old time. We are going to see what these can do in real live action out in the field, right? So stay tuned, and we're going to do some camp cooking. If you like this video, please subscribe below, leave me a comment and a like, and visit my brand new website at amylearnstocook.com. I'm also on social media at Pinterest and Twitter at Amy Learns to Cook. On Instagram, I'm at Cooking with Amy, and you can catch me on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Amy Learns to Cook. Now, let's go camping.